Don't judge me for what I'm about to do. Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. In this video, I will be making Spinstress's second outfit. If you don't know who Spinstress is, she is part of the Spider-Verse, the cartoon comic movie with Miles and all of the spider variants and all of that. She is part of one from Edge of Spider-Verse. She's a kind of Disney princess Spider-Man, which is right up my alley, as you can scroll through my past videos and you can see how many Disney videos I've done. But she is practically all of the Disney princesses rolled up in one, plus Spider-Man. I thought that was pretty cool too. I've always wanted to cosplay as Spider-Man, but I did not want to wear a bodysuit, and lo and behold, I find her. I saw her outfit and I immediately said I needed it, so I decided to make it. But in this video, I will be making her, I'll call it her hero outfit, because that's what she wears when she fights the bad guys. In my next video, which will be a longer video of me making everything, the ball gown, the top, the gloves, everything, that will be the next video. But this video, I'm just showing how I made her skirt and how I made it kind of defy gravity, and how I made her leggings, because her leggings are kind of two-toned and I wanted to do that. So that's what I'm here to show you. I hope you enjoy the video and I hope you stick around to watch the next video. Okay, let's get started on making this skirt. As you can see, I have it back here and you can see it's already kind of out because I used zip ties. I pinned a zip tie to the bottom of the skirt so it will come out a bit, because I want it to defy gravity. And I'm not using my boning because I didn't think it'd be strong enough, but zip ties. Cheap, ow, and pretty sturdy. So I'm going to have zip ties all around the bottom, and I'm going to have zip ties on every seam so it can hold it up and it won't cave in on itself. And since I want it to defy gravity, I think I want it hidden inside of the skirt, so it will go this outside fabric, the structure, the lining. I think I can do that. It's just gonna be like boning. We make some channels, we put this stuff in it, and we're good to go. I overcomplicated it in my head. It's actually pretty easy. And I have this giant roll of grosgrain ribbon that I thrifted, not to brag. So I'm going to use that to make the channels, and I'm going to make the channels on the lining because obviously I don't want it seen on here. And I think the first thing that I have to do is sew the I'm still not sure. Maybe I sew the channels first and then I sew the lining to that. I think that's what I should do. It should be fine. I'm pretty sure it will be fine. And I'm really excited to see this come out well, because I apparently decided to challenge myself on 50 different fronts with this costume. We're going to make an invisible petticoat, no, hoop skirt, and make a gravity defying skirt. I forgot to mention something. To give the top layer more structure, I interfaced every piece. So it already kind of stands up on its own. Yeah, like that. It kind of already has some structure, but I wanted more, so I'm going to make the invisible hoop skirt. If I wasn't so picky, I wouldn't have to do anything. But unfortunately for me, I am picky, so I will continue to do what I'm doing. It's already like, look at that, all this space. Like, I could just put the horizontal ones and be done with it, but I'm going to do what I had planned to do. But I love this. This is great. The interfacing I used is really hard carrying right now because, wow, I got the strongest interfacing I could find because I wanted it to stick up, and look at that, it is doing its job. So I'm glad I got my money's worth. Actually, maybe I won't put the bottom one and I'll just put them like regular boning on the seams. So you can disregard what I said in the last clip. Good news is it is working, as you saw. Bad news is it's a little tilted. I looked at it close up and it's a little tilted and I don't like that. So I am going to have to do the bottom circle ring, which isn't that much bad news because I was already prepared to do it, but now I am sure that I have to do it. Thought I'd just tell you that. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. It's coming out very pretty and I'm very, look at those webs. I'm so happy right now. I finally got it all together. It's finally in there. Did I use my teeth for most of it? I'll leave that up to your imagination. Here is the hoop. Now that I have a mini hula hoop, I'm going to hand sew it in, I think. Because I realized since the skirt has points, it will be hard to just sew it straight onto the lining because then I'd have to poke these in, poke them out. I already ironed it. I don't feel like doing that either. So I think I'm just going to hand sew it to the seam allowances inside. And then I'll do the same with the, I've been saying horizontal, vertical ones. I'll do the same thing. I'll just cut up my failed one and hand sew it to the seam allowances and add the vertical ones, and hopefully we will have a floating skirt. And then I'll just have to finish it up with a zipper and a waistband. Hopefully it sounds as easy as it's supposed to be.
It was not as easy as it was supposed to be. I think I know where I went wrong, but sadly, the outcome was not how I wanted it to be. I think where I went wrong is I made the waist of the skirt pieces too long. They were way longer than what my waist is, and so when I put all of the zip ties in, it started bunching up and gathering at the bottom, but it wasn't wide enough to flare out how I wanted it to be. So it kind of just didn't end up good, and I had to take out some of the length of the top pieces. You'll see in the end. And you can see here that I'm trying to sew everything to the seam allowances, but it still didn't end up well, as you'll see in the next clip.
So I wanted to share this with anyone that may be as crazy as me to start doing this. As you can see at the bottom, it started buckling like this, and I couldn't understand why. As you can see, I tried to iron it out, it didn't work, and I didn't know what was going on. And then I realized it's because inside the zip tie isn't flat, and so it's causing buckling in the front. See, you can see it kind of poking out right there. If I try to straighten it, then it straightens out. So my solution is going to be hand sewing it straight to the back, because back here you can see, because it's straight up, it's not buckling as much as it is over here. So I'm going to hand sew this to the lining so it will stay back and it won't do this, so I will be able to have a straight skirt. It won't buckle like this because all this hard work I did, and if it does that, I will be so sad. And I'm literally almost done. After I hand sew this, all I have to do is make a waistband and then add a zipper to the back. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do all that off camera because I hate hand sewing, and it's really hard to get a good angle because it's weird. You saw earlier. But I will see you back when it's time to put a waistband on here and the zipper, and then it will be time to start some special leggings.
So I did not show myself sewing on the zipper at all. This is me sewing on the waistband. And the reason I did not show myself or talk to the camera at all is because I was so upset this was not working. See here, the waistband's on, it's cute, but it's not as flared as I wanted it. And I was so sad about that. It worked. It's standing up, but I was so sad it was not working. I took out the zip ties because they were not doing what I needed them to do. They just made the skirt buckle. So I tried putting wire in. That was even worse. It did not work. And then what I decided to do was just add in the boning that I use for all of my corsets, which is just normal plastic boning from Amazon. I put 2 pieces of that boning into the bottom and it worked way better. I was happy. I'm really sad it didn't work out, but hey, I'll be happy with it. It works. It does what I wanted it to do. So there you go. Now let's get on to the leggings, which were a whole nother type of headache.
The skirt is done. Don't mind that it's on wrong. It's doing kind of what it's supposed to. I'm finished. Next order of business. Did I say that right? Time for her leggings. Her leggings aren't anything too special, but they are a little special because they are red and then they have the shiny material from her calf to her foot. And we're getting everything else accurate, so why not do the leggings accurate too? I think this is knit fabric that I got from Fabric Wholesale Direct. Same with this. The shiny fabric, that's where I got it from. This is how much I have left, which is enough. Because I crocheted my own thread, the crochet thread, onto here. Her leggings have it too, but I don't want to use the rest of it on the leggings because if I'm wearing the ball gown, you cannot see the legs. And I only have a little bit amount and I want to use that on the gloves. So I have this yarn. It's sparkle yarn that I bought at Walmart, and I'm going to use this for the threads that come up the red part. Hopefully it works. I'm probably going to have to test it because I'm going to be responsible and not just put it on my cutout pieces. Hopefully this is as straightforward as it seems it should be. I think it will be. So now I'm going to change into something a little more comfortable because I have to make a pattern for leggings. I have never made leggings before, by the way. This is going to be my first time, so you can come along and see how I do. And if I end up crying exactly like the skirt. Let's get started.
Guess what? It was not as easy as it would have seemed. As you can see, I tried to make my own pattern using the duct tape method. That didn't work because the tape I used was bogus. That was my fault. All my fault.
This isn't working. I think I'm just gonna look for a free pattern on the internet and do it that way because this is not working. But a lesson has been learned. Don't use Gorilla Tape to make patterns.
It seems with these 2 projects, I had the idea of what I was going to do, but I didn't do enough to make sure it came out good or like it could work. So yeah. After the duct tape method didn't work, I tried drafting my own pattern from measurements. And again, it worked. I'm being a little negative. It worked, but it still had its faults, especially the shiny part, as you'll see later. The red part came together pretty nicely, which is fine. The shiny part, however, gave me some problems because my measurements were not doing what they were supposed to. And that's probably because I didn't use 4-way stretch fabric like I was supposed to, but we move on.
I finally figured out the pattern. That was so torturous. I did so much math. Can you see that? So many calculations, and I don't even think I used them. I'm still so confused. I'm scared it's not going to work. And I don't have any practice fabric. Though granted, I do have enough. So if I mess up, I can cut it out again, which is great. Didn't plan for that, but it turned out great. I'm happy about that. So here's my pattern on top of the fabric. I folded up the bottom part because that's going to be cut out of the sparkly fabric. Let's hope this works, because if not, I'm gonna cry. This whole project just makes me want to cry if it doesn't work. Whew. I will try to stay positive. And then after I cut out this part and connect the sparkly fabric to this fabric, I'm going to do a test strip because I will be responsible, and do a test strip and see how to connect this, because you're supposed to zigzag on top of stretchy fabric so you can still stretch. I'll see how it works. Let's get started. I'm really scared. I'm very nervous. Let's get on with it. Well, I'm not sure they're gonna fit. I gotta say, it does look good. It took me 2 hours to figure out how I was going to put the yarn onto the leggings. 2 hours, but I figured it out. I'm very happy. Let me share with you my findings. First, I'm not using that yarn. As you can see from my sample, where's an example? I tried so many things, guys, you wouldn't even believe. First, the yarn, I just don't like how it looks. It's more puffy and it's hairy when you get close, and I don't like that. So I'm going to be using what I used on the top. It looks much better. It's thinner. It goes well. That's it. That's all. Number 2. Second finding. I did it straight across because I wanted to see if it would stretch. Guess what? It's not stretching as much as it does, you know, without it, as you can see. I tried sewing on the yarn while the fabric was stretched out. Yeah, no, look at that. And I was too scared to do that on the finished product because I was scared it was going to, if it didn't stretch as much as I stretched it while sewing, it would just be like that or like that. Ew! Ew! That one, done. And then, since even if I used the smaller thread, the crochet thread, it still didn't stretch, as you can see, I tried elastic thread because I wanted to see if maybe if I combined it with the yarn, it would maybe stretch more, which, to be fair, I think it did a little bit more than without it. Or no, it feels like it's just the same. So that didn't work. Very sad. I was about to stop for today. Maybe I'm just doing too much, but then I was like, I've done too much to stop here. So I took a break, I thought on it, and did what I was going to do in the first place, because I'm not even going to sew them on straight across. They're going to be diagonal because that's what the pictures show. Like every picture, I did a diagonal. Guess what, guys? It stretches. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I promise it works. Hold on. It stretches straight across because it's diagonal. Who would have guessed? If I just done it how I was gonna do it in the first place, it worked. You have no idea how big of a relief that was. And I got my settings for sewing it on so you won't see the thread. You can see this thread because I just used red because I'm not changing my thread color right now. I don't know how much I'm going to sew on. Let's say I might accidentally overdo it, and let's say I might not. Who knows? I'm kind of basing this off the, I don't know what it is. It might just be like the draft version they thought up before they did the final version, but I'm basing it off of that one and like one from the next issue she's in, because those are small and thinner than doing like a whole bunch. Catching my drift? Now it's time to sew the shiny to the red and then sew on some string onto the red part. Hopefully it looks good because it does look a little goofy on here. I'm doing way too much to not have it good on all fronts. There's your update. I'm gonna start sewing now. I did all the tedious work. Finally, all of the lines are sewed onto the leggings. They are ironed, they are prepped, they are ready to be sewn together. Finally, finally, finally. I've clipped together the crotch seams, so I'm going to sew those together, turn them whatever way I need to turn them, sew the legs up, and hopefully they will fit. I will literally cry if they do not, because I have projects lined up, and if this doesn't work, yeah, she's getting put on the back burner. One little thing I'm scared of, I don't think the feet are long enough because I cut them out like this because I wanted it to go around my feet too and not just stop at the ankle, but I don't think it's long enough, so I will stop sewing the leg at the heel part here, and maybe if I can, I'll sew like a bottom part for my foot. I'm hoping that works. I don't know if it will. Here's to hoping. I'm almost done. Time to sew and get it done. Time to get her done. I forgot to press record. My bad.
So I'm going to explain this part with voiceover because during the actual video, I was whining and crying because it looked like what it looks like now. I was very upset. As you can see, the leggings are so baggy. It is ridiculous. I knew it would probably come to that because I didn't know if I did the crotch seams right based on the measurements I had taken. So that was inevitable now that I look back at it, but in the moment it was horrible. And if you look at the feet, oh my gosh, I went through a whole thing with the feet. I just wanted the leggings to be tights, I guess, with the feet included, but that did not work at all. Sparkly fabric did not stretch as much as the red fabric, which makes sense. So I had to cut the feet off and do that whole thing, deal with that, be upset with that. The red part I was able to fix by taking in the crotch seam a little more, like just going over the seam allowance in a giant U, and it looks so much better in the final product. I'm glad at least something came out of it, and I got rid of the bagginess. For the foot thing, I'll have to see what I can do because in this moment in time, they're still not finished. I think I have a clip later explaining it, but that's how that went.
The leggings are done. I couldn't film anything because I was so upset. The sock part was not working out. I tried and it didn't work. I even downloaded a mock-up. I even downloaded a free sock pattern so I can use it, and it did work with this other stretchy material I have, but with my second fabric, I tried it and it did not stretch enough for me to get my foot in. I don't know what happened. So the leggings are kind of done. At a later date, I'll probably get more fabric and fix them. But for now, they're just cut at the ankle and they're gonna stay like that until I can get some more fabric. I'm a little sad about that. Both of these things that I made, they did not come out how I wanted them to. The skirt is not flared out as much as I wanted it to be, and the leggings don't have the foot part. But other than that, they are satisfactory, I guess. Like, they do their job. The leggings are leggings. I'm wearing them right now. They're pretty comfy. The leggings are leggings, and the skirt, it does stay up. So I achieved what I wanted, just not as much as I wanted. Hopefully when I do the reveal of the whole costume, I'll have everything how I want it. I put too much into this costume for it to not be up to my standards. Anyways, that's how I'm currently feeling. Feeling a little defeated because my stuff didn't come out how I wanted it to. But here we are. Life goes on. I have to continue making the ball gown part, but other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you stick around to watch the whole making of everything, as in everything, the ball gown and the top. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, maybe you have some tips and tricks that would help me. Let's go on to the reveal. Flashbang!
Oh, finally. I am regular again.